Dead Candy. Dedicated entertainment for the dead.
Spoiler alert, Slashers Paradise encourages viewers to watch these horror films before listening to our show. Danny and Lance will go through everything, including filmmaking, dialogue, characters, and even full scene breakdowns when we get excited. Enjoy the show.
Well, looks like Halloween finally wiped out, dudes. Your boy, the Paradise Slasher, is here to mourn the end of the season, the end of the saga, and apparently the end of Michael Myers' gym membership. This is the Slash Word of the Night, my creepy comrades. Tonight's word is shape. Every time Lance or Danny drop that baby, you take a gnarly gulp of my killer cocktail, the Corey Crush. This one's got pumpkin, cream liqueur, cinnamon whiskey, orange soda, and a splash of dark rum. Because this movie went dark, dudes. Like, hey, let's make Michael Myers the background character in his own flick kind of dark. Bro, this story is so off the rails. You got romance, rebellion, and a random kid turning into Mini Mike like it's some sort of surf mentorship program from hell. Totally tubular in the worst way. Still, I gotta admit, seeing Halloween fade out feels weird, dudes. Like when the last bonfire of the summer dies down and you realize you've been roasting marshmallows with ghosts. So raise your glass, ghouls, drink every time you hear shape, and remember, if Halloween ends, the Paradise Slasher's just getting started. Catch you on the next wave of screams, my fiends, and hey, if you stop believing in the boogeyman, maybe I'll replace him.
Dun 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 dun. It's right here. See that? Do you see that?
What are you doing, Danny?
I gotta get ready.
What is this?
I gotta get ready. You gotta get ready. Lance, I was doing two things for you and for everyone. Everyone who is a avid follower with us here at Slashers Paradise for the whole ride would have known exactly what I was doing. I was not only humming our original theme song to Slashers Paradise, but I was doing the exact same moves I did in the first episode of the Halloween franchise, which is technically the first movie that you and I tackled. And I thought it would be appropriate, given that today is a very special episode. Maybe not so much for the subject matter and what it did for us, but it sure is a very historic and very memorable episode, I think, that is about to ensue in a bookend of sorts, given that you and I started in this crazy path 5 years ago on our beloved franchise, Halloween, with the original. And now today, we are starting the end. And that is Halloween Ends.
It must. That's better than what we're going to end up with. Welcome, everyone, to Slash Paradise. Obviously, that is Danny, and I'm Lance. It's come to an end. Not Slashers Paradise, but the Halloween franchise. Thank God for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lance. I really am. I wish I could have done better for you. I didn't do anything. I didn't help in creation or storyboarding or just trying to kind of come up with ideas of what the finality of this franchise, at least to date. Hopefully, I know you have a very, very specific viewpoint on our boy Michael. You say, let him die, let him rest, leave him alone. I, on the other hand, I think we can do better. I think we could do something better. And you know what, Lance? Maybe it's not a movie. Maybe we're going to get it in this Halloween game that's going to be coming out, which I'm very excited about. Maybe that's going to be the thing that kind of cleanses my palate. But I'm sorry that I know you and I started this beautiful, amazing, scary, spooky, horror-filled journey 5 years ago, starting with our favorite movie, something that we, had in common, which was Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. And I knew this was a long time coming. Folks, slashers, for those of you that are new to the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you that have been with us, you know that we started a long time ago. 5 years is pretty long. And we said, let's tackle the entire franchise. I want to kind of, if I may, give you all a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. So much has come and gone in Slasher's Paradise as far as ways of working, yeah. but something that is always going to remain is how much work Lance puts into the production value of this amazing show. We love it. We're going to keep on doing it. And, one thing I do want to let you all know, though, is that we did start a long time ago out at the original Slasher's Paradise, where Lance is coming to you from, and we were just two guys just trying to figure it out, right? We were trying to figure out this whole podcast, adventure, and we said, okay, I think we should tackle the entire franchise, right? Remember, we said, let's tackle it all. And we were so ambitious. Folks, you all need to know, I am saying it right here, right now, full vulnerability. Lance and I knocked out multiple episodes in a day. We went all the way to 4 in the first day. And boy, were we gassed. Y'all don't even know. I go with coat racks. I go with like options of clothes to Lance's. And I'm over here picking because we need to at least show that there is a bit of a change in the days. So that's why I always bring in these new shirts. And that's when I was like going, oh man. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you all because as far away as it is, I remember it, y'all. I remember walking into Lance's and the pumpkin spice candle or any variation of it was emanating. I felt rich. I felt like I felt safe, and even though we were going to talk about killing and nudity and blood and guts and scary things, it was awesome. And I just knew that eventually we were going to get here. I'm glad it took this long because it was always that star we were chasing. So it is going to be exciting for me to talk about this movie, albeit what it is today with you, Lance.
I just want to go back on a few of those things. I don't know if you remember, Danny, but we did the original Halloween episode, and it took us like 2.5 hours, and we went, I think we missed the mark. Yeah. So not only did we do 1, 2, 3, and 4, we went back and redid 1, and that's the episode that we ended up putting out. Because we kind of started to find the rhythm. We kind of understood what was going on. Like, what is Slasher's Paradise as we were working it out. But the other thing about that, though, the funny fact about that is we've tried to do multiple films in the same day, but it's so much harder to do because it wasn't this franchise, because it wasn't something that I've recently said was part of my DNA. I knew every moment from the back, like there was the back of my hand. And we could dive into it. We literally talked about the franchise all day long. And then we had a second day where we talked about the second half of the franchise all day long. And it led into the 2018. That's where we left it off. And just now, 5 years later, we're hitting the very end, the last 2 films. And it's been a journey. It's been an adventure. And this isn't... Listen, just because the movie is Halloween ends does not mean Slasher Paradise is ending by any means. We are raging through the year. Big plans, fun stuff ahead. I can't wait. I'm going to have to crank up the pumpkin spice for the rest of the year because we got some stuff coming. So I'm really excited about that. It's been so much fun working with you, Danny, so far. It's been
so far.
It's been a great ride. Thus far. No, No, Danny just brings so much the day of. It's kind of crazy. I think it's something that you would be known for if we got into more productions of like day of Danny is fucking out of this world. The shit that you bring to the table is just, I think people would be beside themselves. The shit that you come up with the day of, anything that we've ever done, production wise, podcast wise, whatever it is. You bring the entertainment. I always go back and watch like the ads that we used to do for our shows. Like April Fool's is always one of my favorites. We would come up with some funny stuff when we were in the studio together. And again, I mean, reiterate what Slash Paradise was all about was me seeing Danny at a job we were working together, a Halloween event. I saw him wearing a fucking Hawaiian shirt, writing some notes down, and I was like, okay, we're both obviously slasher fans. We're both obviously Halloween fans. This guy's got the look, this Hawaiian shirt going on. Slash's Paradise is where it's at. That's where the brand kind of came in. And it's been fun ever since. I think people enjoy it, right? This is a paradise.
I think people very much enjoy it because we've always said you can come on, watch us, listen to us, kick off your shoes, listen to us at work, whatever it is. We want you to be, at least in the time that we have you, we want you to be relaxed. We want you to be chill. Have a laugh with us, disagree with us, but ultimately we want everyone to have a good time. We remember what it was like going to the video stores, scamming the aisles, and just really like, falling in love with this sort of like ultra shock genre, but ultimately something that kind of brought us a lot of comfort and made us happy. And I think I could also echo what Lance said. I can talk about these movies, in the Halloween franchise like I know myself. We have seen them multiple times, and I'm sure eventually I'll be able to kind of maybe talk about this trilogy with familiarity. Probably not the last two because I probably will avoid them. But then again, you never know. You do never know how these films that were taking swings, some took bigger swings than others. But here I am in a silver shamrock sweatshirt. I'd never in a million years, at least back then, if you would have told me, I would have been sporting Halloween 3 and it would have been one of my favorite movies of the franchise. I don't know what I would have said to you. So I don't know, right? I don't know. And I can only tell you how I feel right now. And how I feel right now about said movie that we are about to talk about is not great, right? But we're going to have fun. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to really dissect the things that made us go, huh? And the things that made us go, a what? And the things that made us go,
a what?
Wow!
I like that. I like that, Danny. I like everywhere we're going with this. As you all know, we've got business to take care of here in Slash's Paradise before we storm ahead with whatever we got tonight. Danny, we have a game here called Slash Word. I know the Paradise Slashers are already given the slash word, along with a fantastic drink recommendation, I'm sure. How does Slash Word work, Danny?
I'm so glad you asked, Lance, because I would like to tell all of our wonderful listeners how Slashers Paradise game Slash Word works, which is a play on the popular original game Pathword, where when you hear the slash word said by either Lance and I, or any voice that gets, finds its way through your speakers, take a drink. Take a drink of your favorite beverage of choice. It does not have to be alcoholic. We just ask that you play along, but you might want one that has a bit of an alcoholic volume in it. But yes, hear the slash word, take a drink, have fun, and that's slash word.
Awesome. Make sure you stay safe while drinking on this one. We're hitting it hard tonight. Danny, we have something called the Pina Colada, which used to be the pumpkin spice latte. Since we're going back in time, I just wanted to mention that. We kind of came up with the Pina Colada. It's so on brand that we had to keep that one. So, this is the Danny Vise version, the Danny Fied version of the film. Sometimes it's short and sweet. Sometimes it's extra long and emotional. Sometimes it's just right. So, Danny, what is the Pina Colada for God bless it. Halloween ends.
Halloween ends. Pina Colada. 4 years later from the 40,
Not 40
years later. So we are now 44 years later. The story picks up yet again with Laurie Strode and the infamous Michael Myers. Last we saw Michael Myers, he was breathing into a phone to Laurie on the other side after freshly killing Laurie's daughter, Karen. We pick up 4 years later where Laurie and Allison are trying to live a seemingly normal life post-Boogeyman. At least that's what they think, because it has been 4 years since and nobody has seen him. We are introduced to, God bless him, Corey effing Cunningham, who ends up being the main character because he is brushed with the unfortunate ire that is the misunderstood guy in a misunderstood circumstance in a town that has dealt with so much terror and anger and frustration. Is he going to be the new Michael Myers? Is that the way that it's pointing? Is Allison going to deal with her trauma by dating the diet Michael Myers? Is Michael Myers actually still out there? We're going to find out all of these answers. And if it sounded like a schmosh posh of a pina colada, that's because that is Halloween Ends.
More like a Michael Myers 0. Okay, breakdown of the film. The budget was, it was released on October 14th, 2022. The budget was $33 million with a box office of $105.4 million. God, did they fool all of us. The movie was written by Paul Brad Logan, Chris Bernier, Danny McFucking-Bride, David Gordon Green. Let's see. Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy Machuk, James Jude Courtney, Will Patton, Rohan Campbell, Kyle Richards. That's the breakdown for that. I'm gonna open it up here really quick. Hold on.
Pop a top again.
I needed one more. All right, I just want to say, listen, I'm wearing one of my favorite Halloween 2 shirts. That's for the viewers. It's the skull coming out of the pumpkin and the knife in it. It gives me the good fall vibes. It brings me back. I just want everyone to know, watching, listening, whatever, I am a Halloween fan. I love this franchise. In particular, I love Michael Myers. I love that there was a story to him. Secondary, I love Dr. Loomis and the story that he told. Everything else, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lloyd, everything else was okay to me. Like, I love it, but at the same time, Michael was my number one. So with that said, you all know I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Michael Myers. I'm a fan of the Halloween franchise. Tonight I might say some shit about a lot of stuff about this film, about the franchise, and I just want to take this moment to apologize to absolutely fucking no one. The 3-time champ says whatever the fuck he wants. Cocktober out.
Holy fucking shit! Yes, baby!
Go Dodgers.
Back-to-back champs. What's up? Oh, my God. Lance, I did not see that coming. Folks, we pre-show, Lance and I, extensively. I did not see that coming, and I am so happy my boy delivered. Yeah, that's right. Cocktober is out. And we are coming to you after October. But yeah, this movie does feel like a big, healthy sampling and serving of dick on the table in a bad way. So yeah, Cocktober
in a bad way. Yeah.
Cocktober for sure. Lance, that was outstanding. Thank you, sir. I really do appreciate that.
That was just for you.
Oh my
Danny.
God. Look. I it's funny because there's a few things that I have noticed listening. We do sound quality. We do quality checks. At least I make sure that I do listen to our episodes entirely just to see where we can always strive to get better. There's something that I've noticed, Lance. In the entirety of our coverage of the Halloween franchise, all the episodes, I can honestly, and that's hard to do. That's a memory that I didn't think I had, but I do. I don't refer to Michael Myers as the Shape as much as I should. I was just thinking about that as I was seeing the credits and looking at, like, you know, obviously the IMDb. It's like James Jude Courtney as the Shape. I don't refer to him as the Shape as much as I should, and that's a disservice. Mm-hmm. That's a disservice to the franchise, because there is a difference, right? There is a difference between Michael Myers and the Shape in the movie, right? The Shape is played by Nick Castle in John Carpenter's Halloween. Then the Shape is, and that's true. Then Michael Myers is separately billed, obviously as a kid, and then as the face that you see on the banister, you know, looking like Sloth because he got poked in the eye. They are two distinct billings, right? Okay. Whenever, at least in this entire trilogy, you have always seen James Jude Courtney as the Shape. And I need to do a better job for myself, and of course for the slashers out there. But I need to remember that the person that is adorning the entirety of Phelps Garage, all the figurines, all the different knickknacks and paddywhacks, and there is a dog in here, but I won't give him a bone because he'll throw up, is the Shape. It's not Michael Myers. It is, but it's not. And I think that's going to add to a big point I'm going to make about where this movie could have gone, if it had any fucking huevos, where it could have gone, and ultimately what people forget about Halloween's boogeyman, which is the Shape, but it's Michael Myers, right? Okay. Before I get into that, I do want to say something.
Okay.
I do want to say something. There's something else that I've noticed that I haven't said in a few of our episodes.
Okay.
But I don't want to talk a bunch of shit. But today, I'm going to talk a bunch of shit. Tonight, whenever you're listening to this episode, you're going to hear definitely a lot of shit. Okay, I think we're good. I think I want to jump right into it. What do you say? You got anything else?
No, let's fucking go.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you, when I first saw this movie, I went with my coworkers, and Caitlin was overseas, actually working, and I said, listen, y'all, I think I need this. I need to watch it in theaters. They were so awesome. All of them came with me. We actually had to split up a little bit. Like, two of us sat in one row and another three sat in another. And I just remember feeling good. My coworkers were with me. They all knew. We got pizza before. It was like a whole thing, right? And they knew, like, they were going for me. I mean, they wanted to watch the movie too, but they were really going because they were like, they knew what this meant to me. And I will never forget, one of my good friends is in the front row, and he's not the front row, but row in front of me. And the movie ends, the credits hit, the lights in the theater start to light up. He turns around, looks at me, and he goes, "I'm sorry, man."
Yeah. That's perfect.
And I was like, oh my God. I was sunk in my chair. I was sunk in, and I was like, did I just see all of this? Did all of this just happen? Because there is so many ways to F up a movie, and they sure as hell took all the avenues in how to fuck this movie up. And I hate that. I hate that, because I'm not going to be this piece of shit that's over here saying, would you all just like to watch all my movies? I don't want to be that. I know how hard it is to make this shit. I know how hard it is to hear the studios give you pressure after pressure. I mean, Jason Blum said, while he didn't think, or it wasn't going to be the last movie in the series, this was definitely going to be the last Blumhouse movie of the Halloween franchise, because the rights reverted back to the Akkads. Thank God, man, honestly. And I hate to say that, because I don't know where we're going to find ourselves down the road, but I'm not trying to say anything that other respected critics, observers, fans haven't said. This was a this was a fuck up. They have completely bungled this, they have completely bungled this. And I'm going to tell you why. Right off the bat, take a stand. Take a stand. What is the reason that Halloween 3 came back and accepted its cult classic moniker or status? What was the big reason? They took a stand and they went one way. They said, there is no Michael. Deal with it. There's no Michael. Here's this story. Love me or love me harder, right? At the time, people rejected it because you fooled them. You said, come see Halloween 3. You didn't even have to say, but there's no Michael in it. You just chose not to say anything. So people were like, Halloween 3, I'm in. Michael Myers, right? None of the trailers said anything. It was just they just tried to trick you to get you into the theaters, and that's what happened, right? For this one, you had the opportunity, because it was all there right in front of you, to tell this new story of Corey Cunningham being the Diet Michael, the new Michael, succumb to the evil of Michael in whichever way you want to show that. And we're off to the races. You could tell that story. And you know what? We might have crucified you, or at least not the real fans might have crucified you. They might have come for your ass, but in time, people would have respected the choice. The reason this movie did not do well in my eyes, and the reason that it just fell flat, and this is the point I want to make, is that they went this way the whole time. They try to put one foot in one lane and one foot in another lane, and it just never took off. And then finally you think, okay, it's the Corey Cunningham story. Cool. No, hey, sorry. Here's Michael and Laurie for one last hurrah. Okay, you just wasted our time for the whole fucking movie? Thank you for nothing. That's it.
It's funny that you mentioned that particular part, because nothing about the movie felt unfamiliar until it was Michael versus Laurie, because that's the story that you've been telling, whether you want to deny it or not, which you've done in those first two movies. It's about Michael. It's about Laurie. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. That's kind of the whole convoluted story. I said this about Kills. I'm like, what fucking movie are you writing? Like, you put everything on the board and you kept every single piece of it. And again, we gave you credit because it was probably filmed during the pandemic, and there was a lot of things you just kind of had to deal with, and that's the way it was. That's, we're forced to kind of get these things out. And we know now, like, Jason had this and Leatherface has this, where these rights kind of get billed and you're like, fuck, we only have it for 4 years. We got to do this trilogy. Like, now we got to get it done. So choices are made. I didn't like Halloween Kills. It killed it for me that I never would watch Ends. I knew that there was nowhere for it to go. I watched it 2 days ago. That was my first experience. There's something that you just said, which was like, you gave us the worst version of everything that we've seen before. Starting with the opening, the music, I turned the movie on and I like walked into the kitchen really quick to like get a drink or get something for my dogs. I was like, oh, I guess there's an ad or something. Like, is this old school? Are they playing a trailer before the movie? And I was like, what is it? I turn around and I see like the blue titles on. I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? This is the movie. This is the opening. It was the worst song I've heard since the end credits of the last movie. The blue, I was like, oh yeah, it's like a throwback to Halloween 3, right? Isn't it? Aren't the credits in blue on that one? So that's a throwback. Okay, cool. I get it. You're making your choice. But there's something that happened in Kills that I said too, which was like, you took a lot of ingredients that fans had complained about with other franchises and you threw them all in the mix. That's exactly what this movie is too. It's Halloween 3 all over again. Oh, Michael's not in it. Michael's in it. Michael's not in it. Michael's kind of in it. It's so convoluted and stupid that we're like, what are we watching? Like, it's the worst version of everything. Yeah. It's the worst opening, the pumpkin CGI shit I hated. And then there's another part that we'll talk about in a minute, but because we talk about it a lot on other movies, and it's one of our favorite things in other movies, but just bad off the bat. So I guess maybe I kind of knew what I was getting myself into before it started.
Well, I'll say this. I do find little moments, tiny moments in this movie that I think are done they're done well. For instance, poor guy. Like, I really, really do feel for Rowan Campbell. I think that's how we say his name. The guy who plays Corey Cunningham. Because the boy's got chops. The boy has real acting chops. You know, he's trying his best. And then I think Jamie Lee Curtis is just, you know, she is also really trying her best. There's a difference between Jamie Lee Curtis in Resurrection versus Jamie Lee Curtis in Kills and Ends. I hate the fact that we sometimes get a little too much of a view behind the curtain, because then we start to know, oh, this is a 3-picture deal, which is why you're here. And not, wow, I was so moved by the contract, or yeah, you were moved by the contract. I was so moved by the story that here I am again to reprise my role. It just, it felt very contractual, and I hate that. I really do, because here's a opportunity for a young actor in Rowan Campbell who is going to, and I met him at a convention. He's a sweet guy. And, you know, people weren't being assholes to him or anything like that. You know, he didn't do anything, but it's like, and he actually had a pretty decent line at the convention. Like, he had, you know, folks who actually wanted to, you know, get stuff signed by him. I don't know if it was like not a ironic sort of, you know, a meeting where they were like, oh, sign this stuff, or oh, I can fix him sort of thing. He's so damaged. You know how like people see mugshots of like, you know, murderers, and they end up, then they're like good looking, and they're like, oh my God, I could fix him. Right. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think what this movie can do well, obviously this performances from a lot of the actors, but some of the atmosphere is pretty good. Here's what I thought was going to happen in the opening. I wish I could just play everything that David Gordon Green and company set up for the trick or treat scenes in the movies in 2018 Kills and Ends are pretty good. I like it. I was like, can we just get you all to just shoot a bunch of stock trick or treat footage, and we could put that on a lo-fi loop somewhere, and I could just watch that, because that is actually pretty good. And what we see here in the beginning is Corey Cunningham going over as being a savior to be this last-minute babysitter for this couple who's going to go to a Halloween party, and their son, their only child, needs to be babysat because they're going to step out for a little bit, right? And we soon learn, and he's playing it very earnest. He's playing it very sweet. I kind of feel for him. I'm like, that's a good kid. He's playing it really well. I could kind of see, I'm like, oh, I know this kid, right? I know this Corey character. He's got his dreams ahead of him. He you know, he's going to go to college. This is done very well. I have a problem with the close-ups that they're doing in the beginning, where the actor is talking straight to the barrel of the camera. I have a little bit of problem with it, but that's neither here or there. The thing that I thought was going to happen, because him and the little boy start to have like a back and forth that is 100% written by Danny McBride, like obviously, because it's like vice principal's humor. And what I start to think is going to happen is what I wish would have happened, because it would have been so much better. You want to tell new stories in the Halloween Haddonfield world that are not Laurie Strode? This is how you do it. This is how you do it. It is, he's like, oh, you know, Michael's still out there. And for a while, it's like, is Michael just going to attack this random two kids? Because that's the story you've actually told, right? He's not after Laurie. He just attacks whoever the hell he wants. And you've actually shown us that in 2018. So here we are. They make it very suspenseful. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be like in the middle of everything that was happening in Kills, he decided to stop by this house and wreck shop. Oh, I was so on board. That's not what the fuck we see at all. We see this weird hide and seek dipshit kid mess with Corey enough to where he locks him behind the door. The parents are starting to get home. It's a 3-story house. The parents are starting to get home. Corey's trying to get out of where he's locked in. The kid's making fun of him on the other side. Yeah, in the attic, right? And then he starts kicking the door, kicks it open. Corey does. The kid gets hit. I don't want to, because I'm a father, and that like would absolutely break my heart. But fucking noise that the kid makes when he gets hit in the face with the door. It reminds me of Colonel Sanders. It reminds me of Colonel Sanders in The Water Boy. When he gets... It just
perfect.
It just gets he gets smacked in the, because I guess he's waiting right outside the other door, gets hit in the face, falls over the banister as the parents are going into the house, see the kid fall down. It's this accident, horrible accident, but no Michael Myers. It's just this weird accident that killed a kid on Halloween night. What did you do? We hit the opening credits, and I was left like, ah, shit. This sucks already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't tie into anything. There's nothing Halloween about this. Like, there's no Michael Myers. There's no Laurie Strode. Like, this is just a random story of Haddonfield. It's not induced by the events of Michael Myers or Laurie Strode. There's nothing to do with the story that you've been telling. And the thing is that Halloween is kind of known for having big openings that leave you like jaw dropping. And instead it's like, what am I watching? I think my jaw dropped because I was in shock with like, oh shit. Like how hard can you hit a kid that they go all the way over the banister?
Right.
But that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a cool moment. It wasn't a jaw-dropping, like, leave us with a Michael moment and then come back to him later. This was just a random thing. And listen, I'm not stupid. I know that they're trying to tell this was a movie about Haddonfield more than it was anything else. But that's not what we sign up for. Like, what did I say? I love about Halloween. I love Michael Myers, and I love what Dr. Loomis did for Michael Myers. That was the difference in slasher world. Those two, it was never to me about Laurie. It was never necessarily about Jamie or any of that stuff. It was the story that Loomis told about Michael, and the mystery behind Michael. I never wanted to know what Michael wanted to say. Loomis told us that, you know what I mean? So this moment just left me like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care about Haddonfield. I've never cared about Haddonfield.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they decided I wholeheartedly believe they painted themselves into a corner. Like, I truly believe it. I was like, there's no other way to go at this point that we have to try to tell the Haddonfield story. But here's the twist. If you want us to believe that the only thing we can consider as truth is Halloween, John Carpenter's, and that's it, as far as world setting, Haddonfield is fine. There's nothing like John Carpenter didn't spend enough time in telling us about what the town does or how the town is feeling. This was a step or a leap by them, but still, the kid falls. I was like, in that moment, as soon as the credits hit, I went like this. I like went back in my chair, crossed my arms, and I'm like, shit. This is gonna be that kind of story. I don't like it, but you can fix it. You can fix it. I was like, okay, if they're gonna tell a new Michael story, which is fine, because it's now they're saying no, there is Michael Myers, and there's the Shape, right? There's Stu Macher, there's Billy Loomis. And then there's Ghostface, right? Okay, you can go down that route. I think you're a little late to the party. It's a big swing. It's a big swing. Some people say, no, Jason Voorhees is not someone in a mask because we had that with Roy, right, in part 5. Jason is Jason because it's Jason. So is Michael, is the Shape tied to Michael Myers? That's the risk. And ultimately, if you care enough to tell more stories about the Shape in Haddonfield, then you got to go this route. But you should have just gone this route. The next thing I want to see, maybe not the next thing, but the next time Corey is down on his luck and you show him like really kind of flirting with the devil and going down this dark path, do that scene. Because there is a scene, folks, that Corey finds himself after after tussling with the band geeks from fucking hell.
Oh, thank you. So I wanted to ask your opinion about this. You were part of band, right? Like, were you a big bully like this? Were you the jock? Because I've never seen. Was that the ploy of the movie? It was just like, oh, it's the band geeks that are the bullies now, and the varsity lettermen.
My brother used to laugh so much because I went down this road, right, of things that I did in high school and then in college, which are not very jockey or tough guy things to do. I was a drummer in band, and then I went and did theater in college, right? And one time we're in Austin, and we were going down for New Year's on 6th Street, and I knew it was going to get dicey because we're Red Raiders, and we were like, full of testosterone and shit. And I was like, listen, y'all, I was telling my theater friends, and my brother was with us. I was like, listen, y'all, if it gets nuts, we got to be ready. I always had something with me, right? Like, we got to be ready. Well, it did get nuts, and we're fighting on the street and shit, and nobody wants to jump in except my brother and I. Well, whatever. And I was pissed, and I was like in a moment of like, when your shirt is pulled too much because you're like scuffling and shit. And I remember screaming, I must be a fucking anomaly because I'm the only one that wants to throw down in this bitch ass theater world. That's not something you say. But to your point, no, this is not congruent, or this is not consistent of the type of people that are in band. The type of people that are in band are artists, are forward thinkers, are lovers, not fighters. However, me and the drum line back in Rio Grande City High School, we used to fuck around, man. We used to get down. So if there are tough guys in the band, they're in the percussion section. So we see that in one of these band dweebs with the Edgar haircut who has the drumsticks. I'm like, oh, do you play the drums? Because I see you have the drumsticks.
Always.
So no, Lance, this is not consistent of the behavior one would see in high school band. No.
That it's just another one of those like Danny McBride moments where you're like, oh, there's comedy in the situation. It's the band geeks that are the bullies. Okay. It's
kind of forced. It's kind of forced, man.
There's so much of that in the trilogy. Like when you go back, each movie taints the last movie in this trilogy for me, and it makes the last one worse. And this is another one of those things where I'm like, you had a lot of weird moments that you wrote into this for your own amusement. Nobody else's. It doesn't tell the story. It doesn't help the story. There was no need for it, but you added it anyway. This is for you. Yeah. This is all for you.
I guess, right? There's like a few things, and I'm going to get back to the scene that I'm talking about real quick because I do want to say that I could never get over. Oh. First of all, Lance, I could never get over the fact that this band brigade, their leader in Haddonfield, Illinois, sounds like he's from fucking Brooklyn. Like, who the fuck
right?
is this guy?
He's Michael from Halloween 5, right? Didn't Michael have no, he didn't have that much to
Let me see. Fuck. It's like, all right, asshole, you want to play?
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. Like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Yeah, I don't get it, man. But anyway, it's that, and it's also fast forward. There's a part where, and I gotta be honest, they find themselves at a diner, more of like a burger joint. They being Corey and Allison, which, please remind me to get back to Allison, sweet Jesus. But the thing that like,
God, fall out of my chair.
The thing that they're at this diner, right? I'm like, this is the Big Top Burger from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Just take away all the chairs are set up the same way, but was so and that's all good. That's all fine. Hang out. I'm gonna go hang out in a burger joint. But the cops, the police force of the entire Haddonfield Police Department decides that is where they're going to have a birthday party for these rough, gruff deputies. They're like, it's his birthday. We're having some sponge cake. I'm like, are you all okay? They also had like presents and shit. I'm like, so that's that other thing. I'm like, this this is obviously, hey, it's funny, on purpose Danny McBride stuff, which, you know, sometimes it works. I think the guy's funny. I really do, but I think he's funny in comedy. I think the stuff that came out from him in this trilogy, it was so identifiable. And that shouldn't be. It should be unidentifiable. It should be, the comedy should be organic and not forced anyway.
What's funny is this movie made me look up, like, why did we think David Gordon Green was like the guy? And I went back, I was like, motherfucker, they were together on Pineapple Express and Your Highness. And I'm like, they're all comedy. Like, that's where all these, like, all the actors in this are comedians. And it's like a bunch of favors were cashed in for this, because I don't understand why some of these choices were made. And it's like, it's so obvious. I said it in the last episode. I'm like, are you mad at us?
Yeah.
No, this is just for you, right? This is,
and like, you know,
it's a Hollywood connection, and it wasn't for us. It was for you, and fuck us, right? So you all made some money. You get to go on. You were a part of the franchise. Congratulations. You've ruined it, because there's nowhere to go from here.
No, this trilogy is 100% over. But I just want to say, so that, you know, I kind of put a bow on this thing. Corey finds himself down on his luck, the victim of circumstance, the victim of an accident gone wrong. Fast forward, the town has turned their back on him, and he's just kind of like he's just trying to keep a low profile. He's working for his stepdad, you know, at a junkyard, and he finds himself in a situation where he's been, you know, trying to date Allison. Anyway, he tussles with these band geeks, this band brigade, for a third time, and they like toss him over a freaking overpass, falling down into the opening of the sewer, where our sewer dweller, otherwise known as the Shape, has been hiding out, or maybe keeping his base of operations.
It's his underground lair.
That's right. He has sharks with freaking lasers. Corey goes in there, and here's the point, right? If Corey goes in there, has an exchange with Michael, survives, but ultimately Michael dies in that moment, and the transfer of energy happens, which is what they try to tell us. Fine. At least we're going to see a clear message. What happens is kind of that. Michael is very weak, very old. This dude the mask should be growing on him at this point. He's got moss. He is, you know who he is? He's that pirate that's stuck in the freaking dungeon in Pirates of the Caribbean. The one who's like attached to the wall, and he's like, Davy Jones Locker. Like, he's like, he's like attached. That's who Michael is. He's like a part of the wall and stuff. He's got like, yeah, he's all gross and shit. But here's what you should have done. Okay, sorry. What you see is Corey goes down there. He's like, what the hell? Look at this awesome lair. Maybe it's awesome. It's scary. I need to get out of here. I'm also pissed because, well, you know, I just got thrown off a fucking overpass. But then he finds himself going up against a wall. Michael is in this like crook and cranny. He grabs Corey by the throat. Corey, I don't know. I guess he doesn't flinch, but Michael looks at him, Corey looks back at him, and we, the audience, are supposed to ingest that this is I see you for the darkness behind your eyes that remind me of my dark, blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. And then like a freaking Matrix Reloaded download happens where they like mind meld. All right. Here's how you fix that. Right. Here's how you fix that scene. This is the point I want to make. That should kill Michael. That should kill him right there. That should be his last ounce of energy. He's like, I'm not going to do anything anymore. I'm on my last leg. You pay the audience off. They get to see the Shape, the original Shape, one more time. But if you want the movie to kind of continue, let him die right there. He transfers his energy, and Corey becomes the new Shape. There it is.
So this is Jason Goes to Hell.
100%.
Okay. Great.
100%. Yeah, no. Look,
that's so again, going back to my point, you took a lot of shit that horror fans, slasher fans fucking hated for years and talked shit about. And again, I can't help but think you all did this shit on purpose. You put those ingredients, those bitter ingredients that we all disdain, we all hated, and you put them right into this film. You did it on fucking purpose. You did it on purpose.
You did this on purpose.
There's no other fucking reason. Yeah, like I can't get over that fact, that idea, because there's so many things, and I'm like, that was in that movie. That was in that movie. There's so many fucking things, so many ingredients to this film, to this trilogy. I'm like, you all did this shit on purpose. You were in the forums with us, watching the complaints, and then you used them against us.
And I think
for Michael, damn it.
Yeah, and don't do the credits to be an homage to Halloween 3 if you don't want us to think you're about to give us Halloween 3. I would have at least respected the effort way more. That's the point I want to make in this entire episode. I would have respected the effort way more, and I think ultimately time would have been way more kind to them if they would have just picked a lane. You want to tell us a third Michael Laurie story? Tell us that shit. You want to tell us a Corey story? Tell us that shit. You can't tell us both of them. It won't work when.
Right. Part of Haddonfield, and something that I know you and I, if there's a Slashers Paradise fan out there, you guys know we love fucking radio shows in small towns. I know, I just activated Danny because I was just as mad. This is the worst Haddonfield radio I've ever heard. 94.9, Willie Kid, just antagonizing. So you're telling a story about the town of that they're all affected by Michael Myers and his actions, and now they're they're slow, like salt and pepper of like Laurie Strode antagonized him and brought him out and all this bullshit. And then you have a radio show host that everyone listens to apparently that is antagonizing that and saying like, and telling all these stories about Michael Myers, the victim, and how he's this force. It was the worst. It was the most cringy part, because a radio show in any horror film is always kind of a lifeblood. That we've talked about this, and especially in The Fog, Halloween 6, there was this.
We had some of this talk with Barry Sims.
Barry Sims, right? Like Barry Sims was awesome. I think it worked. He antagonized, but he did it for ratings. This guy is just like a fan of Michael Myers, but you're telling a story about the town that is just so against it, and it makes no sense, and it becomes more and more cringe the more that you hear him. Not only that, but you hear Laurie listening to him. You hear Allison listening to him. All these people that have actually been affected by him the worst are listening to this radio show, and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
No,
I hate it.
I think the concept of a Haddonfield radio show is so cool. I almost feel like you could have gone any way but the way that you went, and I probably would have found it a little bit more useful, right? Cameo by Darcy the Mail Girl, Diana Prince from Joe Bob Briggs' The Last Drive-In. Yeah, that was very nice. She had actually way bigger scene, by the way, hit the cutting room floor. But that's neither here or there. I just like.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very quick.
Yeah. She had a really long scene. Well, really long, but she had like a full death scene, is what it was. But other thing is, like you're going to show us the radio tower in Halloween Kills. I love that you followed it up with the radio station. It really could. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm kind of thinking a little bit forward to Stranger Things 5 at this point, but like, I don't know. Maybe Allison is working at the radio station. Maybe she's trying to become a DJ. I don't know. Maybe the DJ itself is a little bit more of a helpful character instead of an antagonizing character. But that's the choice. But I just felt like, I don't know. I felt like it was a missed opportunity. But that's the DNA of this whole freaking movie, is that it was an entirely continuously missed opportunity. I will say though that Jamie Lee Curtis is such a god blessed trooper. She is such a trooper, man. She is going to say the lines. She is going to do the shit. She's going to live up to her contract, right?
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah,
she will, because I don't know. I have not experienced the grief, and heaven forbid I ever experience the grief that she should be going through in this movie. But 4 years seems like a really quick turnaround to be just like, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to do my hair. I'm going to lean into the Halloween traditions and such. It just seemed a little like, what the fuck? What about the girl that was in the hospital? You know, at least this, Lance, at least show us that she tried to find him a few years afterward. Now, there were a little bit of the moments where it's like they're going to the crime scenes and, you know, Will Patton's character, Hawkins, right? He's like, well, Michael doesn't use guns. Like, there's that, but it's so not effective. Anyway, fast forward. She's carving that pumpkin. She's going to make a pumpkin pie. And then she talks about showing your tits and saying whatever line she says. And she throws the pumpkin guts on the floor. I'm like, feels like that was B-roll or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
Who is that?
Yeah,
I don't know who that character is.
Exactly.
Well, okay. And again, like, you're trying to do something different, right? So the only thing that I've said about Laurie so far in 2018 and Kills was that she was just a progression of the original series. There was nothing different to me about her. So you want to go off the wall, but there's a part of this that's like, oh, it's kind of like Laurie before Michael. Like, she wanted to carve pumpkins. She wanted to make popcorn. So there's a little bit of that, but then the show your tits and like, it's like, what are you talking about? This isn't any version of Laurie that we ever needed to see.
Right.
Nor did we ever want to see. It just doesn't, it's yet another thing that doesn't fucking land. And you're again saying about the 4 years, wasn't Karen a big deal? Like, the last thing that we saw, especially in the extended cut, was like, I'm coming for you, Michael. Like, you just killed my daughter. I've had enough. So now it's time for the final showdown. But the first version of Laurie that we get is like, oh, I cut off all my hair and I am the ideal grandma now. And Allison lives with me and everything's great and fine. And we've moved on. What the fuck happened to the end of Kills? Like, where is all that, you know?
Yeah. And for the most part, Kills felt like it was always trying to just set up ends. Like, oh, man. And you know what, dude? Honestly, at the end of Kills, I'm like, all right, Halloween Ends is going to be a fucking bloodbath, which I was like, ready for. Nope. Maybe we got a, what is it, 20-minute bloodbath at the very end of the movie. That's about it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, look, just so we know, and just so if you're listening and have not seen the movie, Corey goes down this path, right? He ends up going down this path of like, everyone's fucking with me. Nobody understands me. He ends up, after meeting Michael the first time, killing a street urchin or whatever, a hobo who's like, I've been here. I've seen that people have gone into that sewer. Why did you come out? He knows Michael's in there, right? So he's like, you gotta go back in there. Give me that mask. And then Corey basically, by accident or not, kills the homeless person, right? It starts him on this journey. Here, dude, oh my God. I am so sad with Allison, the Allison character. It is
Are we going to Allison?
Yeah, we're gonna because of this moment. Here's what it is. Corey, who has now drawn the attention of Allison because, well, Laurie has introduced him to his granddaughter, who's working as a nurse practitioner in a clinic, in the line for a promotion. Corey meets her there. They obviously hit it off really quick. Allison's being a little bit more forward with it. they go to a Halloween party at Kyle Richards, Lindsay Wallace's bar, which like probably the only one that's actually doing anything correct for the last two movies. Lindsay Wallace had an epic showdown with Michael and now has a freaking awesome bar that she is just, but she's also a tarot card reader. So just so we know, natural progression after surviving a bout with the shape. This Halloween party is going on at this bar, and obviously, you know, Corey's having a good time. He's remembering the type of young and full of life version of himself that he used to be. He's having fun with Allison, and when he goes to go ask for more drinks at the bar, who's waiting at the bar? But of course, the mom of the child he was babysitting, and she lets him have it, basically saying, you're not allowed to have fun. I wake up every day thinking about what you did. She full-heartedly blames him and says, you did it on purpose. She's going down that route. Okay. So then Corey storms out, he has a dust up with Allison, and then he falls in to Michael's lair and kills the homeless person. The next time he sees Allison, he goes to the house where she's living with Laurie. He is standing behind a bush so he can act like Michael. Who sees him from the up window? Laurie does. It's a bit of a, you're different. Are you Michael Myers now? What, like, so everybody could, okay, I'm sorry. Everybody could just read the minds. Anyway, this is the point, and this is the last thing I'll say. He's like, Allison, please just take a walk with me. He's walking with her, and he's just like, I killed somebody today. And she just stops there and looks at him. And they continue to see each other.
Hold on though, because I thought the same thing where my ears perked up and I was like, excuse me, baking powder, but he's actually saying it's a secondary thing, right? He's like, I killed somebody. He's talking about it's ambiguous, right? He's talking about the kid and she already knows that, so she assumes it's the kid. The next scene is them going into the house. They break into the house where the blood is still left behind from the kid. There's cobwebs. The family moved out. That was yeah. My bad. I had to check myself on that one. So I just wanted I got to give him a little bit of credit. It wasn't as bad as it sounded. Like, it wasn't as stupid as
I think because obviously I'm seeing that he just killed the homeless person and he like meets up with her and he's like, I killed somebody today. At what time?
That's how the movie goes. That's how this trilogy has gone, where these things are kind of ambiguous. This one was just barely clear enough, like, if you're fucking really paying attention to understand, oh, that's not what he meant, but it is what he meant. But okay. That's my issue with the whole thing. But I want to go to Allison even more so, a little bit, all the way back to the beginning. Apparently she dated the Sheriff Brackett lookalike before she met Corey, which I thought was really interesting. So there was a whole history there, and then there's another connection about Corey and chocolate milk that I thought was going to end up being a thing in the movie, because when he kills the kid, there's a big jug of chocolate milk in the kitchen. And then when when he's activated by the band geeks, he like smashes the bottle of chocolate fucking milk again. I was like, I swear to God, if it's chocolate milk and the Michael Myers mask that activates Corey to become Michael Myers Zero, that's going to be fucking hilarious to me. There's no more chocolate milk after that, but he ends up cutting his hand and meets Allison, who immediately fucking falls in love with, like, I don't understand. Like, she immediately is like about this guy, and it goes so quick. There's no pacing. There's no time. There's no nothing. She is like 100% about Corey within a scene.
Yeah, dude,
it's so wild to me. I've never seen that in a movie. The pacing is so terrible that she's just automatically on board with this guy and like, this is my new guy. You know, it's so bizarre. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel natural at all. There's no like source of chemistry because it happened so fast. It doesn't make sense.
It's such a ridiculous arc for the Allison character. It is her trauma arc went off the rails. She's not alone, because obviously Laurie's did as well, because you don't think that after everything you've shown us about Laurie, this is the way she's going to react. But fine, she's an author. She wants to write her memoir. That's okay. But what is so puzzling to me about the Allison character is that you have set her up to be the new Laurie, or the first Allison, but eventually the one who is going to be your lead. Laurie is taking a step back, especially in Kills and Ends. Okay. It feels like in 2018, okay. My favorite track of 2018 is The Shape Hunts Allison. It's my favorite track. They kind of revisit it in Kills with, I believe it's Payback is the name of the track. I don't really feel like I heard it in Ends, but it may have been just like tweaked a little bit. Ends has at least one or two good tracks. I think the Procession track is very good. But their best work, John Carpenter's best work for the score, along with his son, is Kills. And 2018, but Kills is really good. I think they did some great stuff on there. But it's like she was trying to find her identity with survival by like really forcing this and wanting to get to know what her. I mean, she's a kid growing up around her grandma who's like stacking like mannequins and shit and going to this compound, right? In Kills, she's all about revenge because it's an extension of the night. And then what does she decide to do? I know how I'm going to deal with this. I am going to not chase Michael Myers, who has killed my mom and killed my dad. I'm going to date his knockoff. Because that makes sense. Maybe it does, man. Maybe it does. Maybe I haven't done enough trauma studying to, if you can't beat them, join them. If you can't find them, date them. Whatever. So, it's just, there's nothing about this guy doing what he's doing. All the red flags. And she's like, let's go for a ride on your busted up motorcycle.
I have expected at some point for Corey to be riding the motorcycle with the Michael Myers, with the Shapes mask. It unfortunately didn't happen. But as far as Allison goes, I said it in Kills. It's like, okay, Karen and Allison were pretty set up, I felt like, in 2018. And Allison was dropped in Kills. She said some lines that I said, you can watch her like swallowing it. Like, please don't use this fucking line. It was hard for her to say some of the lines. I feel like that was in this movie too. There are some great actors. There are some great actors in this film. The writing is bad. The dialogue is bad. Yeah. It just is.
It's all over the place.
That's the unfortunate part. And again, we're talking about contracts here, and it's like, all right, Jamie Lee Curtis fucking went for it. She fulfilled her contract, which is, as far as I can say, since Halloween 1 or 2. I don't remember her set up for 2. She didn't want to do 2, right? She cut off all her hair and was like, fuck it, I guess I'll do it. I guess ever since 1, she's always been contractual and like, let's make the money. But, she did her part. I think Allison at least had an opportunity to do her part in this one. But Kills, she didn't really get that opportunity. But everything is so fast paced because it's trying to cram so much context and stories on top of stories that we really don't care about into this. And that's where she ends up.
Yeah, I do. Papa Top again. I do want to say, are you kidding me? Well, it's getting real sticky and sweaty and musky in the Slasher's Paradise with old Lance over there. But I will tell you this, folks. Let's keep the sweaty, sticky, musky vibes going, and let's talk about the activation scene. I have to. What I did earlier in the beginning of the episode where I went, wow! The frickin' Shannon Sharp drinking Mountain Dew, insert GIF right here, insert clip. Oh boy! Yeah! Okay. Guess who's back randomly. Remember the 3 kids who were messing with Lonnie, the Mulaney's? We found one of them. We found one of the Mulaney's who is a cop, who is an older cop, who apparently went on a date with Allison. Is so sad. I don't even want to talk about that shit. What I do want to talk about is, remember I was saying that they're celebrating in the Big Top Burger knockoff, and Corey and the Mulaney have like a bit of a dust up, right? So Corey is basically seen going somewhere. The Mulaney officer finds him, follows him obviously into the sewer, is remembering what happened from the restaurant, and is following him, and he's like, don't fuck with the Mulaney. He says it, right? Okay, great. Get into the sewer. The sewer just opens up. It's the freaking Rat King's lair from Ninja Turtles. It's amazing. It just opens up. Here's what is true. Michael is, the shape is very weak. He should be. He got stabbed, kicked, punched, shot, burned, everything under the sun. And what they are trying to set up, at least in the whole evil doesn't die, the more he kills, the more he transcends monologue from at the end of Kills, is Corey has lured this man into the lair so that Michael can show him how to kill, because he got a taste for it, and he has obviously succumbed to the dark side. He is basically Anakin. So Emperor Myers is hanging out in the darkness. So Corey basically beats the shit out of the Mulaney. Michael charges at him. You've seen this move before. You're ready for Michael to do his thing. The shape has got the Mulaney officer in his grips, and Officer Mulaney fights him off, and Michael gets his ass kicked, and he's over here like with his hand all like shriveled up, and he's like, take my strong hand. You know, he's over here just like looking like a shell of himself, which he should, because he just, like I said, he just got his ass kicked multiple times in the 4 years ago. So Corey says, no, I'm not satisfied with that. Straps basically the Mulaney dude down, holds him down, tells Michael, no, I got him. Come kill this dude. Show me how it's done. Michael is like, struggling to get to him, picks up the knife, stabs him, slits his throat first, then stabs him. And when he stabs them, I wish to God I was making this up. I really do. But when I saw this, Lance, when I saw this in theaters, I almost passed out. I never in a million years, in all the time I have come to fall in love I know it's weird to say, but like really appreciate and enjoy the character and cool sports superhero figure that is the Shape in all the movies that I rented my entire life, and the memorabilia and all this stuff. The one thing I never thought I would see are two things. I never thought I would hear him talk and have his face be exposed in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. That's one. And the second thing I never thought I would see him do is, after stabbing someone, freaking have chills and they were multiplying because he was being activated and getting his powers back. I'm not making any of this up. It is so ridiculous. When he convulsed and activated after that stab, I said, I am going to pass the fuck out. I cannot believe this is happening. But it did. It really, really did.
This is another one of those moments where I'm like, were the writers listening to our episode? Because I remember, let's go way back, episode 2 of Slash's Paradise, talking about Halloween 2. It felt like a sequel to a video game where Michael's like slowly building his powers again. Like the sequel to a video game, right? Like the first video game, you kind of like, you amp up all your powers, but then the second one, you kind of got to start at a random base and then build your powers up again. That's how Halloween 2 felt. I was like, did they listen to our episode? Did they hear me say that? Did they use that as a part of this? Yes.
Yeah.
He fucking starts like convulsing and shivering and like, oh yeah, that's the shit. It's almost like he's like taking a hit of coke. You know, it's like, yeah, let's go. This is my shit. Okay, I'm back 4 years later. It's not over, baby. Michael's back. Let's go. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking dumb. This isn't Michael. This is, you guys obviously don't understand the character. You did stupid shit for yourselves. I don't fucking like it. I'm not into it.
Like, you have done everything to make the Shape look less than when he's not supposed to be a man. You already told us. You told us that he transcends when he kills, so he has to kill to be activated. But the homeless man just told us that he's taking folks into the sewers and killing them. How's he surviving? Lance, how's he surviving? How's he?
Oh, I knew this was coming.
Lance, is he eating? Is he eating animals?
Well, he must be eating people now. He's a cannibal because he's taking people in there. He doesn't say we're taking animals in there. We're not taking dogs. It ain't dogs.
He could be. Yeah, we didn't come here to fuck spiders. No, he could be eating the rats. He could be eating the dogs. He could be eating the cats.
Honestly, like I got to a point where I'm like, is the point that Myers in the sewer is almost figurative? Where Corey made it up? Is that the big idea? Is that Michael was never actually there? I don't fucking know. But then, you know, the ending, we actually see a physical Myers and we get an ending. So, that's where I was at a certain point because it was so ridiculous. I was like, is that what you're getting at? Is like he's an idea in Haddonfield and Corey's just consumed the idea because he needs it, an identity. That's kind of where it led me for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I almost would have liked that first encounter with Corey. Like I said, Michael is just, that's it. That's his last ditch effort. That one stranglehold. He knows that he doesn't have it anymore. He's got to hang up his cleats. But he said, the last thing I'm going to do to get back at this town, because that's the story, right? It's the town's fault. Get back at this town that like turned their back on me. I'm going to transfer my evil into a new fresh body. This is Get Out or whatever, apparently. But let me just say. All right. Fine.
Is it Get Out or It Follows?
It's Get Out. It's Get Out. They put the old consciousness into the young bodies, right?
Right. Yeah.
No, I get it now. Okay, fine. You have Michael shriveled up. You have Michael get his ass kicked by multiple people. You have Michael, go into a little bit of a, convulsing motion so that he can be activated. If I said, fine, I'm okay, keep going, you're surely not going to do anything else, right? You're surely not going to do anything else that's going to make me go, what the fuck are you doing with this guy? Right? No. Unfortunately, I would be wrong to think that they wouldn't do this shit to me again. What do we see later?
Wrong again.
We see that Corey decides, I am Michael. I am the Shape, but it's not going to work. I can't go out in this stupid scarecrow's mask. I can't do that. Nobody likes it. It's not It's not fun. It's not gangster. Shoot your homeboy in the face. He said, I got to go back to the sewer and take the real mascot, the real look of the Shape.
Time out.
Okay.
I have to stop you because you skipped over the fact that Michael decided to team up with Corey.
I know I did.
For a kill.
I know I did.
We got to put that in there.
Yeah, I mean, we would have jumped back to it, but yeah, he does.
That happens. There's a team up. There's a team up between Corey and Michael for a kill, for 2 kills. Just had to say it. I'm sorry to interrupt, Danny. I know you had some momentum there. That's my bad, but
don't worry about that.
I had to put that in.
Don't worry about that.
Was okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but it's good because we do have to point out that yes, Darth Myers and Emperor Myers and Darth Corey go out on a tag team run, right? The freaking Legion of Doom go out there to kill the doctor and the nurse that work with Allison, who are obviously sleeping with each other. That whole little story's told. Here's what I find so funny about that scene. It's not the fact that Michael has now got his powers back and he can mess with and kill some people. It's the fact that when Deb, I believe is her name, when she finds Corey is killing the doctor. I know it wasn't.
Yes.
I know it wasn't like this, but all I can remember and all I see is that when she turns on the lights, he's just got the doctor in his lap, and he's just kind of going. He's just like stabbing him like the monkey with the cymbals. Ha 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 ha.
Yes.
There's no romance to the way he's stabbing. There's no art form. It's aggressive for aggressive sake. Michael then shows him how it's done, comes out, grabs the nurse, pins her up against the wall, picks her up, stabs her like Bob from John Carpenter's Halloween. Corey sees that. He's like, yeah, that's how it's done, huh? I want to see. Yeah. You know how we talked about it would be funny to see the Michael setting up the staging of when he's staging the bodies and such.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would love to see Corey and Michael coming up with how they're going to get to said place and how they leave. Like, what do they do at that point, right? Does Corey go, oh, wow, okay, so that's how it's done? Okay, cool. Do we... you want to take my car? I have a motorcycle. You want to go with me?
Right.
What happens after that? Is it just awkward? But yeah, that definitely does happen. And I'm going to go ahead and believe that Corey gets Michael on his motorcycle and takes him back to the sewer and drops him off. Okay, back to what I was originally talking about, which was...
Sorry.
It's okay. Which was... I was so sad, not only in the tag team. Thank you. You did. You're right. Because that was another thing. But the thing that destroyed me is that he looks like a remote control that you left charging on a dock waiting to go get picked up. When Corey goes back to the sewer, Michael's just standing there on the platform like, I'm here. He's not even sitting. He's not even relaxing. Just standing. He is standing in a location that if anybody's just walking by that sewer and looked in, they'd be like, oh, Michael Myers. What? He's just standing.
What?
Corey goes over there and he's like, you son of a bitch. You're just a man in a mask. I need something from you. Starts fighting with Michael. Michael does get he gets a throw in there and it's okay. But ultimately Corey again kicks his ass. So I get it. I actually get it. The story they're telling is that Corey's becoming stronger than Michael. So even at the Shape's heightened powers or powers being restored, Corey is taking up the strength. Fine. He takes Michael's mask. I would never put that on. Can you imagine how stinky, disgusting, grimy? There's pieces of his skin that are melted into the latex of that shit. Ugh. Well, Corey doesn't give a shit. Takes the mask from Michael to go on his own killing spree.
I said this in the pre-show. I thought it was hilarious. This was actually a moment that made me laugh because I had kind of heard about this moment, but not enough to know what exactly it was. But in my head, I heard it. So I don't know if it was actually dialogue in the film and it's actually part of the movie or not. But because of the way it plays out, I feel like Corey walks into the sewer towards Michael and says, I need that really quick. I need that. And he just pulls the mask off of him. It's so fucking ridiculous. It's just the whole fucking thing has been the mask. The mask activates him. Judith activates him. I know you don't agree with that part, but what else can activate this fucking guy? You know, like what else is okay? Oh, it's the mask. I need the mask. This guy 6 times. I shot him 6 times. Okay. Anyway,
holy shit!
I just thought it actually made me laugh.
We pretty much have quoted. Let's just keep going. We'll work it into the fibers here. Keep going.
Okay. That's what Corey reminded me of. It's like it just in my head it plays out like he just went up to him like, I'm gonna need that from you. And Mike's like, no, my mask. Please don't take my mask. Like,
yeah,
I'm 60 years old. Please don't take my mask. It was just kind of a ridiculous scene. Obviously, Michael's he's
64 at this point.
There you go. 64.
Right?
Still killing it, but he doesn't have his mask anymore. Corey goes off and he finds the band geeks. And then finally, I mean, this is an hour and 15 minutes probably into the film by now. And now we can finally get some slasher action going on.
Yeah, right? So, some traditional Halloween setup, stalking, moving through the shadows, getting creative with kills. It's a little clunky, which is, I think, the point they're trying to tell, that it's not Michael, it's Corey as the shape. But to them, they don't give a shit. Like, it's scary. It looks like Michael, and he fills the suit. He looks okay. He looks pretty good. He's vicious. Yeah. He's got some interesting kills. I mean, honestly, some of these band geeks kind of deserved it, especially the main guy. Like, fuck it, dude. Go,
yeah.
I don't care. Like, if you go back to John Carpenter's Halloween, like, yeah, Annie's trying to mess around with, oh, Paul, I can no longer stall. This my Paul. Anyway, Linda's messing around. What's their crime? They're being promiscuous. They're being teenagers. We like them, actually. I don't care about any of these kids. Kill the fuck out of them, for all I care. Go ahead. And that's, again, the point. We should care about, it should hurt. It should at least make us feel something if he kills a certain group of folk. Right, he kills Buck in the power plant in H4. Yeah. But, like, when he gets to some of the people, oh, shit, no, don't kill that person. When he kills Charlie, when he kills him in Halloween 5, I was like, damn it, yeah. Charlie. Because they took a little bit of time to make us like the character. So anyway, I will give him this. There's some pretty gnarly kills at the junkyard. Pretty gnarly kills, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think they tried to deliver another one of those spine-chilling lines that Karen gave us from the first movie. Oh yeah, gotcha moment, and it didn't land. But I was like, it's the last thing I think anyone would say to their friend when they know they're about to die by the slasher that's killing all of them. And it's the girl that gets pinned. She gets pinned by the truck and the fence. Mm-hmm. And she looks up at Band Geek number 1 from fucking Brooklyn or whatever he's from and says, "You're dead too," because Corey, is behind him and is going to kill him. I think that was what the point of that line was to try to give you another like spine chilling moment of like, oh, I'm dead and now you're dead too. But I feel like that's truly like the last thing you would say to your friend. Like, you wouldn't say watch out. You would give him a fucking shithead line like, oh, you're dead too.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, on my last breath and on my friend's last breath, I deliver this freaking, riddle or insightful sort of token line delivered. No, that's not where my mind would go. I would probably go like, I wouldn't say anything. But ultimately we get to our final couple scenes, which we talked about the radio station already. Pretty ugly kill of the radio DJ happens. Diana Prince, the receptionist at the radio station, she is shown dead, but she doesn't get her death scene shown in the movie. And then ultimately it's leading to what I actually thought was kind of cool, you know, it's a way to kind of, because you're kind of thinking that Laurie maybe lost a step, right? She's a little bit like, she's trying to hang on to Allison. She's trying to make sure that Allison's okay, but Allison's trying to run off with this scary dude. And Corey, as the shape, is now stalking Laurie. Laurie knows he's there, right? She knows ultimately that he's following her, but as the audience, if you're watching it for the first time, you don't think that. Goes on up. Laurie's already mentioned suicide when she was talking about it in her book. You think that that's coming. And from the point of view of the shape, it looks like Corey's going to go up, or Laurie's going to go up to her room. She's going to commit suicide. He opens the door to get the drop on her, and she's ready with a gun. And what does she say to him right before she shoots him?
You really thought I would kill myself?
Yeah, something like that, right? Yeah, you really thought I'd kill myself. Freaking blows it, you know, shoots him in the chest, I think. And I think he falls over the banister. Anyway, he ends up on the floor next to the stairs. But yeah, that happens.
She shoots him 3 times, and I remember she says that line. It's something similar to it, and I was like, no, we fucking didn't. Like, I didn't fall for that. Not only because you know that's not how it could end, but I just didn't follow that path for Laurie. Like, just because her and Allison had a falling out, Allison just is so in love with Corey or whatever the fuck that is about, that she actually turns on Laurie. I was like, I don't buy it. I don't fucking buy it. Like, okay, cool. She ends up shooting Corey 3 times, meets him downstairs as he's like bleeding out. And she shoots 3 more rounds, right? And then she's like, okay, the gun's empty. That's it. That's the end of it.
Well, they basically have.
Buy it.
Yeah. Laurie's actually kind of sticking it to him a little bit. She's kind of being a little mean. I mean, what are you gonna be nice? But she's like, you little piece of shit. You little piece of shit. I'm Laurie Strode. What'd you think? You thought Allison was gonna end up with you? Come on, man. This ain't gonna work out. And he has a moment. He's laughing, and you're like, what the hell are you laughing about? You're dead to rights, son. You didn't work out. You didn't get Laurie. And he takes the knife, and right before he pretty much kills himself, he says, if I can't have her, and stabs himself in the neck, basically setting up a wrong place at the wrong time. Laurie pulls the knife out of his neck. Allison opens the door by happenstance and sees Laurie standing. Very lazy, very like, oh my God, what is this? Like, no, it wasn't me. It was the man in the iron mask, whatever it was, right? Like, Laurie is standing over Corey's dead body, and of course, Allison ultimately, like, she believes that because Laurie didn't want Allison to end up with Corey, she would kill him, and kill him in a very heinous manner. Well, okay.
Yeah. Oh, well. Okay. That's how I feel about all of it. I stopped taking notes. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's the way it's in. I mean, they end up making up anyway.
It's unfortunate. It's truly unfortunate because you very much feel the shoehorn that is the Corey Cunningham story here, or you feel very much the shoehorn, you know, like really jammed in the Michael story. That it's coming to a head right here. Both stories are converging, and it's like, oh yeah, this was messy. This was messy the whole time. And this is where you see it kind of come up because Corey's dead and Michael has been like following him and follows him to Laurie's house again with the bullshit that Laurie and Michael will only fight if Michael just decides to, or just happens to be there. And she's like, oh, I know you. Come here. I want to kill you now. Right? He's not going to go look for her. That story's obviously not being told, but he goes back to try and get his mask from Corey. Corey like is alive a little bit. Michael's like, no, you're not, dead, right? Puts his mask on and he's like, wait a minute. Oh, you're the one that's been like obsessed with me? All right, let's have it out. Let's have it out.
Yeah. And they do. And like I said this earlier, this is the first time that the movie feels familiar. It feels Like, oh, okay, like here's the trilogy, here's the franchise. This is what we all came here for. I've spent an hour and a half watching this other bullshit, but now I get to see what I was here for, like what I thought I was going to get the entire time.
That part.
And that's
that part.
The final showdown.
That fucking part right there. Oh, you're going to show me the thing that you said I was supposed to see based off of posters, based off of trailers, based off of the final confrontation between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. I pretty much think was in one of the trailers. You told us so many times that this was going to come to an end with Michael and Laurie. And yeah, you finally gave it to us, but at what cost? Our time.
Really?
Like,
yeah.
And you know what's so unfortunate as well is that it is a pretty gnarly fight scene between both of them, man. It is pretty awesome. That fight scene fucking slaps. That's why when I think of like Jamie Lee Curtis giving it her all and putting it all on the line, I think of that moment. I think of that scene. They are going for it, and it's awesome. It's a great fight. And if you were to show someone, look at this scene, and you would say, yeah, that's one scene from Halloween Ends, and be like, shit, show me more. And then you show them more, and they're like, show me less.
Right. It's not the movie. So you gave us a completely different ending. Like you gave us 10 minutes of what we came here for. You wasted an hour and a half of our time to tell the Corey Cunningham story and the Haddonfield
What are you
story
waiting for?
What are you waiting for? I think I texted you something about this. Well, let's go through the end first, and then I'll get to that.
I mean, so you know what? Do you know what though? I'll go back really quick. There's just a thought I had, because I don't know if you've paid attention, Lance, but I am slipping in at least one line or two from every installment in the franchise here and there. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I have been. But something that I'm not, it would feel like I'm forcing it, but I'm just going to go ahead and tell people that's what I've been trying to do. But at the same time, I had this idea, this thought. What if in the very beginning, right? The very beginning when Corey's looking after the kid, you don't make the kid a little asshole, or you maybe make him, they're playing hide and go seek, right? And at one point, Corey is looking for him, hears stuff in the kitchen, hears stuff here. He's following, and what he sees. Do you remember when Michael in H2O looks at the woman between the slit in the bathroom?
Yes.
Do you remember how fucking creepy that is?
Yeah.
What if you do an L-Rod, him getting the knife, because that's what happens, right? Like he gets the knife from the L-Rods. You see him in the kitchen. That's how you tell the story of like he's intertwined into multiple, threads in this community. It's not just a Laurie story. You could still tell a shape Michael Myers story, but you could bring in new people. Wouldn't it be cool if what you see is Michael going into the house, grabbing a knife, and it's presumed that this is the night of kills, right? It's presumed it's that night, and he grabs a knife, and he just kind of stares at Corey, takes off into the night, right? Just one of those things like, I'm not here for you, but don't fuck with me. Then later you could bring Corey back, and, he could be like a not a boyfriend replacement, but he could be, just somebody who's going to tussle with Michael, not his replacement. But anyway, I just thought about that. It would be kind of cool.
That was kind of a common thread. I kind of tried to look at the community, what they had said, and they all kind of said, like, you need to set up Corey in Kills or 2018. You need to have him have some sort of moment, at least in the franchise, before this movie. Otherwise, we just don't care about him going into this. You have to introduce him and build him this entire time, and it takes you an hour and a half to do it, and we don't care about him. Like, there's no reason for it.
But they're going to try and stick the landing the best they can and tell us the story that this town needs an enema. No, this town needs closure, right? So Michael and Laurie have a hell of a fight. Laurie's slitting his throat. She's slitting his wrists. She's stabbing him multiple times on the island in her kitchen. Michael makes a last-ditch effort as she's about to slit his wrist, though, grabs her by the neck, and she has a moment where she's like, fuck it, do it, go ahead. I'm attached to you. You're attached to me. This ain't gonna work. It's not gonna happen. I need the only way I'm gonna get closure is by you. One of us had to win. One of us had to lose. Whatever. So she says, "Do it. Do it. Like kill me." And and while he's strangling her, she basically sees her life flash before her eyes, and it just plays every kind of moment from the original Halloween, from 2018, from kills, flashes. It's nice because I like seeing, Laurie Strode from John Carpenter's Halloween. It was nice kind of seeing those flashbacks and stuff like that. And Lord and behold, can't stay mad at Grandma forever. There she is, Allison, to come back in and save the day and break the fuck out of Michael's arm in the process. But yeah.
Right?
She breaks his arm very well. Yes, hey, you work in the clinic, you're gonna learn some tricks. But here's the point: is that it's final, it's over, it's done. The wrists get slit. Michael gurgles. Not if you count that gurgling sound. That's basically his. That's his last ditch word. Of course,
Dumb and Dumber reference. Thank you, Danny.
You're welcome. Right, and that's it. The mystique of Michael Myers of The Shape is no more. He is dead. But he's not dead enough. But
wait, there's more.
All the cops decide they want to come on over and be like, hey, what's going on here? And I still haven't is Hawkins a part of the police force or he's not? He's in street clothes almost all the time. He wants to go see the cherry blossoms. Well, that was more George W. Bush than anybody, so sorry about that.
But it's close. It is close. I like that you drew that reference. Hell yeah.
I love Will Patton, man. He kind of grew out his hair. He's got the old country singer attire pretty much the whole time. I like it, man. He's like, I'm not gonna let this define me. So there was a nice arc for the Hawkins character. He tried his best. My daughter got me a Rosetta Stone and I'm learning Japanese. I love that shit, man. He's a good actor and I appreciate him. He makes me feel safe every time I see him. But basically all the police descend onto Laurie's house. Laurie and Allison want to, they say, hey, he's dead, but he ain't dead. We got to dead him some more. So they decide, let's strap the very ominous, the finality of the character of Michael Myers, The Shape, is going to be strapped to the hood of a Ford fucking Focus.
Why not?
At least let it be a station wagon, where he started his journey.
Why couldn't it be Allison's van that was rattling through the whole fucking movie? The one car that you made the feature of the film. Why couldn't it be the van? I don't understand.
No, it was her car, wasn't it?
Oh, what? That wasn't a Ford Focus, right? Wasn't it like a little minivan?
I don't remember her driving a van. I remember her just driving a car that had like a shitty muffler. What they should have done,
Danny, I'm like a few beers deep right now. I don't remember what car it was.
What they should have done is make a whole goddamn parade float, because let me tell you something. I'm going to be very honest. I've been a part of a lot of homecoming parades and a lot of situations where you got to get people organized. They got the entire town organized to have a procession where they are going to ride Michael's dead corpse through the entirety of Haddonfield. And not only that, Lance, a whole lot of Haddonfield residents decide they want to go to it. Can you imagine for 1 minute being a Haddonfield resident and you get a text and everyone's like, hey, are you going to the parade? And they're
right now,
you're like, what parade? Oh yeah, they're doing a parade for what? Did we win home? Did we win the championship? No. They have Michael Myers on the hood, and they're gonna drive him to the junkyard and put him through the grader.
That's what made me laugh the most was there's like hundreds of cars following him. I don't understand like the size of the town at this point because of the way that they've kind of pictured it. But then there's people on the side of the roads watching the procession happen.
Yes.
Not a single person is filming it. So I'm like, oh, is that a choice? Like the whole town just understands you don't film this. Like it's so fucking stupid. But I really wanted to ask Danny, your absolute favorite character from Kills shows his face again. I just wanted to know how you felt about that.
When I saw him, I said, "I got your hat back, did you?"
Yeah, there he is. The new sheriff's in town.
If there's one group, here's another problem I have. If there's one group of the Haddonfield community that should have no problem with this procession, to me, it would be the Haddonfield Police Department. And they're the ones over here like, oh, we don't do it this way. This is not the way things are done. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I know you are doing that so you could set up this useless sheriff to have his moment where he comes to the scene late and is just like, what happened? And they're like, sheriff, right? Because that was been his thing. He showed up to the hospital. Everything he was doing was like after the fact. I've just never ever liked this character. But he shows up and they're like, sheriff, we can't do this, right? This is not the way we do things. And he's just like, it is tonight. And that's his line. He's like, I'm going to sail off into the sunset, being the most useless sheriff that we have in this town. In the history of police forces, in the entirety of the franchise, it goes bracket, Meeker, me. And there's a long list. There's a long gap between Meeker and him. So, yes, I'm not making this up. All of Haddonfield, seemingly, is in this procession. They're in cars. I was half expecting people to start lighting fireworks and being like, repeat, back to back, Michael, you know.
Yeah.
But they take him to this thing. I don't know what that's. I'm calling it a grater, right? But it's a trash compactor. It's the thing that they use on like these like oddly satisfying videos.
Yeah, it's like what it can destroy everything basically. Yeah. I don't know what they're called exactly, but yeah. But don't forget, Michael is unmasked through this whole thing, and while I get it, for this to be the end, I feel like he's got to have his mask on. But I also understand where it's like, how many times has he been killed and it's not him, kind of a thing. That was always Malika. Was it Malik? Or it was Mustafa Akkad's thing, was like, oh, but he's not dead. That was somebody else. That got written into a lot of scripts. So I understand why he's unmasked, but the symbolism of him being masked and finally being destroyed would have hit more to me. But I understand the choice of him not being masked for it. I understand why he did it, but also I'm like, for movie's sake, it should have been him. And this is why I actually asked you to confirm this. I was like, what did they do with the mask? Because they've done so much. This trilogy is all about the mask activating people or, you know, whatever. So the mask is still there. So the point that I was trying to make was, you didn't have a mask because you're trying to say like, no, we definitely got the guy. This is Michael Myers. He's destroyed. He's being crushed by this metal grater thing, Moto Grater, hey, the band. So he's definitely gone, but you kept the mask. So the activation is still there. So there could be another copycat. There could be more Michael Myers out there. The evil continues. It's almost pointless. So I'm like, just give us the cool symbolism of Michael Myers in the mask. We know it's him being destroyed and he's gone forever. Yeah. That was my take.
Yeah. I think there's a point there. I think maybe it's him going into the grater and maybe Laurie then tosses the mask in after him, and that's the last image you see, because it is wonky to see this obvious, fake body being just like. I was almost expecting him to the last thing to be coming out was his hands, because all the fingers are whoa. Hold on.
Whoa!
I gotta fix this. Hey.
Extreme close up.
I don't know if I could do this. Will it help? This is crazy. And my mouse isn't working. Hold on. This is so stupid.
I love it. Hey.
Hold on. I hate it. This is so crazy. And my mouse isn't working. Lance, I'm scared. Hold on, I can fix this.
Oh, I love this so much.
Exit full screen, you fuckface. Okay, Jesus. Oh, wow. How did that happen? I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Oh. Young man, have you done your paper? Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best.
I guess I'm never going to do that with my hands.
I have beer all over the place, and we just got an extreme close-up of Danny. That was great.
Well, keep my hands down. Jesus. Look, I will say this. What better sort of theme of the shit that is Halloween Ends for us not to experience as many technical difficulties as we have. Lance is full of beer. Hey. You saw inside my thoughts as far as that zoomed in. But there is one thing I do like at this end of Halloween Ends is there was a small thing that Laurie, when she sees Hawkins in the supermarket earlier, she says, would it kill you to eat a vegetable? He's full on in the I want to court you, I like you, and I want to do something with you. And at the end, he comes by. I think it's such a simple thing. All you young cats out there, take note. It doesn't have to be over the top. It is something as simple as, I listen to you. And his line delivery is so simple, but it's so effective. He says, I just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. And I just love that. I love saying that to my wife. I love saying it because it just means so much. I just wanted to let you know I was thinking about you. It doesn't have to be like, what are you thinking about? Mm-hmm. Because some idiots do go there. I was that in the past, and I fully take ownership of that. But I do understand that it could be something so sweet. Just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you, and here's a bag full of vegetables to let you know that I'm thinking about you, and I remember what you said. So enjoy. And she sits down and she's like, what were you saying about the cherry blossoms? Basically saying, all right, man, let's give this a try. And I like that. It's sweet. It lets the Laurie and Hawkins right off into the sunset. Allison has taken off and left Haddonfield, seemingly to go start her life somewhere else. She's got, I think, her mom and dad's wedding bands around her necklace, so she's taken off there. And the last thing we see is homage. What? An homage in this trilogy? Yes. Duh. We see homage again. Multiple shots of the interior of the house, kind of playing on the original Halloween, where you got multiple shots of the places we visited, but it's not done with the Halloween theme this time. It's done with silence, silence, silence. Every time it gets to a new shot. And then finally, the final shot, Laurie's office where she's been writing her book. The mask is on the coffee table, and as soon as it gets there, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult starts up. Obviously, the song that Annie and Laurie were listening to in the original in the car. And that is how we go to credits. Halloween ends.
Ends. Did you notice that on the titles?
I did. It
ends. It's done. It's over. Please don't bother us anymore. I mean, I guess the last 10 minutes is what I thought the whole movie was going to be. So by the time I got there, I really didn't care about any of it. I don't care about any part of the characters and what they get to do and the payoffs because you wasted my time.
I get it. Totally understandable, my man.
So I had texted this to you. I was like, I have a weird take about this movie. And I was like, I feel like, again, are you mad at us? You did this all for yourself. This whole thing felt like, this is a old school direct to video movie. This is what Michael Myers was about to become. And was that the whole idea of this? This is where franchises kind of went to die in the video store, was we got these weird sequels that made no fucking sense, but nobody cared because it wasn't part of the theatrical that everyone saw. This movie reminded me of everything that direct to video was back in the day. And I was like, oh, maybe that was their point. But you used $30 million to do it, and a fandom that was craving more. So I feel used as a fan. I feel I had a really great a companion to this film. I read the Taking Shape 2, which was all of the sequels that never happened or almost happened, and the alterations of them, the treatments that were written, the scripts, and all that kind of stuff. And what's really funny, Danny, is kind of going back. I skipped like through half. I mean, I read the first half a long time ago, but I skipped in particular this one right to the end of Halloween 6. I kind of knew a lot about Halloween 6. And I was like, all right, what was going to happen before? And it was like Dimension Films was like, well, that we don't know what else to do with it. We're going direct to video. So the next film that was going to come out, the Michael Myers story and the Halloween story, was Two Faces of Evil. I don't know if you've read the book. I don't know if you know any of the sequels that almost happened. But what's funny about this trilogy and reading the book at the same time is you see that a lot of things carried over through this trilogy that have been written since 1996, 95, 96, and so forth. A lot of things have kind of carried over, and I'm like, here we fucking go. The best version of any movie that we would have gotten was after Halloween 6. It was the Two Faces of Evil. And the story was basically Michael Myers was in FBI custody in like the lower levels of some fucking chamber, whatever, in Chicago. Meanwhile, there's a murder that happens that reminds everybody of Michael Myers. There's two investigators on it. There's a con man / magician. Hello, fucking Terror Train. Anyway, so they kind of follow these two investigators, kind of go after this guy. They're like, there's no proof that it's him. We got to wait for the DNA. Meanwhile, Michael Myers himself breaks out of FBI custody 6 feet or 6 stories deep in a facility, and kind of makes his way over to just like a random school basically in Chicago. Has nothing to do with Haddonfield. There was no Laurie Strode story. There's no family resemblance. It was just like, hey, let's get Michael back on the road. He hits the school. He gets his costume back. He's doing that. Meanwhile, there's a con man / magician / Michael Myers super fan that starts kind of doing some killing and grows, face to face. So there was a story there originally after Halloween 6 where there was going to be a copycat Michael. And then that eventually died because it was about to hit the 20-year mark, and Jamie Lee Curtis stepped up and was like, hey, I got an idea. How about you guys bring me back for Halloween? And that's the only reason we got a theatrical movie for Halloween, H2O, and Michael stayed in the theater, made a ton of money off of that. That's why we got Resurrection, who was apparently... Busta Rhymes was like hot in Hollywood and a big deal, and people wanted him. So he got contracted for two. He got contracted for 2 Halloween films, Danny. And I think that's important to know because I know you're going to ask me to rank the Halloween films, and Resurrection is going to come up. And had they made the movie after Resurrection would have been a lot better. Just saying.
Really, Lance? With his hair melted and all right, fine.
Okay, Dan. Okay, I'll set up the next one, Danny. Okay, we know what Resurrection is. We know what happened there. Imagine, if you will.
Okay.
Freddy.
Oh shit.
Busta Rhymes.
Oh, okay.
No, not Freddy Krueger. Freddy from Resurrection, Buster Rhymes, wants to make a documentary and have the proceeds go to all the victims and all the survivors from the terror that Michael Myers has provided everyone. So we get every survivor from the entire fucking series into a theater. I'm talking John Tate, Jimmy from Halloween 2, who, guess what? His last name happens to be Lloyd. I'll let you digest that one. Meeker and Lee Brackett team up with each other, which is something we've always fucking wanted. Lindsay's in there. Tommy's in there. Everybody gets a piece of Michael in a final showdown in a theater where they're all together. So that's the basic breakdown. But that would have set up Resurrection, I think, to be a setup film to something that would have been really cool, where we could see all the survivors and all the people that have been affected by Michael, which is interesting because it's very similar to what the trilogy is. All the survivors and all the people that have been affected by Michael. That's where I'm drawing the connections. It seems like a lot of things have been drifting along, and basically these guys just picked up where everyone else left off. There's nothing original to this. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, this sounds like a good read in taking shape. I feel like I need to get my hands on that because I have gone down the rabbit hole myself of eventually it was getting a little crazy with every time you saw a new version of Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. He was a little crazier. Then obviously in Halloween 6, it's like, shit, this is the last time we're going to get him. But between 4 and 5, there was a lot of like, there should be something more. There should be something. And if you're going to jump the shark, let's jump the shark together. So after 5, maybe you make it that there's something that is blood tying Dr. Loomis and Michael Myers, given that, or if you go down the route of the Red Rabbit and Red Lounge, what's the significance of that? Why did he look at that matchbook? Is that where, of course, as Rob Zombie touched on, maybe that's where his mom, Deborah Myers, was dancing. Dr. Loomis and her had a one-night stand a long time ago. He's Michael's dad somehow, right? Okay, whatever. Like, he ended up going kind of weird, but then obviously brings it back down in part 6, and it's like, okay, so maybe not. But I was like, you're going down that route anyway. You might as well just go nuts as it is. But yeah, okay. I don't know if anything will ever allow Resurrection to be good in my eyes. So I don't know, Lance. But yes, it has come to the time. Slashers, it is the end of an era. It is the end of the Halloween franchise with Danny and Lance. We have come to it.
Danny, we are 3 years away from the 50th. Just saying.
I heard a TV series was the next thing, and obviously you just cannot tell the Laurie Strode story anymore. You've done the sequel, you've done the prequel, you've done everything under the sun. You got to tell a new story. You could do it with Michael Myers. I've already mentioned how you can do it. You could just do it without Laurie.
It has to be a complete reboot at this point. I don't know what else you do with it, honestly. You've fucked the original storyline. The whole Rob Zombie thing, you've rebooted it already. Then you kind of rebooted it again, but not really. Like, you fucked up there's all these different timelines now. It needs such a break. But we know that the 50th is coming up. We know that the Akkads love their Michael Myers. We know that they have the rights to it.
Yeah. And as I've mentioned multiple times when we were covering Friday the 13th, these execs, all they do is get together and they say, do you like money? Yes, I like money. Should we make more? Good, let's make more. As long as folks keep showing up and, ingesting the property that is Halloween, we'll see it. We'll see what this new Halloween game, which looks fantastic. I'm really looking forward to playing it because you don't have to play it online if you don't want to, which is going to be really fun for me because I really don't like playing online. And it's going to have a story mode, and you can be Michael. So I'm looking very much forward to it. However, I wanted to take this opportunity to put all of our cards on the table, my man. I want you to take. I can go first if you'd like. But it is time, folks, that we officially rank from best to worst the Halloween franchise in its totality. If you're ready, Lance, the floor is yours.
Does Halloween 3 count?
I will say that it can count if you wanted to, but you could also leave it in a separate category if you want to as well.
We'll put an asterisk of like where we would put it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like an asterisk, so it's like not a part of the Michael Myers story. Okay, that's where I'm going to go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'll go first, and Danny's fucking face is going to drop. I'm sure of it. Halloween, 1978.
Holy moly.
Halloween 2, the follow-up to 1978. Halloween 4, the Jamie Lloyd introduction. This is where it goes off the rails. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Possibly the most, I'd say terrifying, but more vicious Michael Myers. Mm-hmm. Halloween 3 is where I would put this in my enjoyment. Halloween H2O. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Halloween 5. Resurrection. Halloween 2018. Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends. That is my ranking as of now.
Wow. As my daughter says when I show her the lights on this lamp, wow.
Oh, we got to get a recording of that.
Yeah. Okay, Lance. To each their own, I suppose.
No.
I do understand the logic. I truly do. It is not mine. I would like to share mine right now if I could.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. At the top, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. No.
Get the
never.
fuck out. Stop.
Get the fuck out of here. Okay, restarting. Or officially. John Carpenter's Halloween 1978. Halloween 2018. Halloween 4. Halloween 2, 1981. Halloween 3. Halloween H2O. Halloween 6. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Halloween Kills. 100 feet of crap. And then you can throw them up in the air and see wherever they land. And that's where we would rank Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween Resurrection, and Halloween Ends. They can all fight for the end, but they are all dog shit to me. And that's my ranking. Wow. But for the sake of finality and owning up to it, I will go ahead and say we will go Halloween Ends, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and Halloween Resurrection.
Okay.
I hate that movie, man.
I've completely lost respect for you, honestly.
How dare you say that? Like, what a thing to say.
How many kitchen knives do you give Halloween Ends, Danny?
Half a kitchen knife.
You're absurd. I'm canceling the show. This is our last episode. For me, it's absolutely 0. If I could give it negatives, I would. This is one of the worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. This is is this the worst film Slash Paradise has ever reviewed?
Is it?
It might be.
No, we covered Resurrection.
I feel like you gave less to Friday the 13th Part 5.
Did I?
I don't know why. I think it was a film that was not really in our realm, but we did Black Christmas, the newest version that had nothing to do with any of the other two. And I feel like that one was low on our ranking. But to me, all the lowest that we've done had a vision, had concise movement where it wanted to go. This was a fucking mess. It was terrible. I hated the movie. I'll never watch it again. Absolute dog shit. Hate it. Worse than Resurrection in my book. That's it.
I mean, you are missing the part where I say that these are separated by nothing. They are just all together, in my opinion. They're all together, man. But I really fucking hate his tweezed, penciled ass eyebrows and his poofy fucking hair. And you're saying what? So you would prefer the moss face of Halloween Ends? No, I wouldn't. But I just really hate that movie, man. I really hate it.
I will rewatch it before I'll ever watch Halloween Ends ever again. Halloween Ends is just a bad movie. And the thing is, I have a 28 Halloween 2018 is low in my ranking because of this bullshit. All Halloween 18 was a recap of the franchise and everything I love. Great job of retelling all the things that I love. You did nothing new. You did nothing original. You destroyed the story. So now I hate it even more because you didn't have any original ideas. So Halloween Kills and Ends destroyed 2018 to me. Y'all can fuck yourselves. Y'all did it for yourselves. I'm done. I'll never watch any of the three ever again. Mic drop. Cocktober out.
Cocktober out. That's totally highly recommend Taking Shape 2, especially when you kind of get to that gray area of after Halloween 6. There's some really interesting tales that were going to be told, be it straight to video or not. There's some really interesting stuff in there. So highly recommend. Yeah, I mean, listen, what I will ultimately remember Halloween Ends for is a lot of bad stuff. Like, no question about it. Like, I do not enjoy this movie, and I will probably not watch it again. But there are small, teeny, tiny moments in this movie that I will remember. And it's mostly missed opportunities, right? And I've already touched on them, but I do ultimately, I think, like that Laurie and Jamie Lee Curtis kind of gave a shit and tried, whereas in Resurrection she very much did not. I remember her press tour. I just remember her press tour for Resurrection, and this one is just different. And then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is just I'm never gonna like that fucking movie. So yeah, not the best end to our beloved franchise, but as you have illustrated very eloquently, Lance, you will never watch this trilogy again. Fuck them, fuck you, Happy Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, and all that stuff. But that just adds to my original point, is that we can always love what we love about this franchise, and nothing actually gets ruined, because if we can compartmentalize and remove it from our brains, you'll notice, shake your head all you want, I don't care. You notice here in Phelps Garage, I don't have any Rob Zombie, because I'm a completionist. You know I'm a big completionist. I don't have any Rob Zombie shit. I don't have any of the trilogy shit except for the records, because I do think that the records are good. But that's it, man. I can separate, and I'm going to try and separate so that I can survive.
My issue is that these movies are for the new fans, and the new fans are going to be like, Michael fucking sucks. Why do you like Halloween? And we all have to defend them. Like, but you got to go back. You got to go watch the old ones. And
no, you just say you watch. Why do you like Halloween? Because I like Halloween. Watch Halloween. Oh, then if I have to explain to you, if you know, you know, you know.
It's not.
Anyway,
that's not the point I'm making, though, right? Like, this is for the new fans, is to bring people in and to go watch the old ones. But if they see this first, I mean, like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Like, oh, really? You want to go watch fucking Friday the 13th Part 5? Let's go.
The new fans like the 2018 Halloween. They do. After that, I don't know. But they do like 2018.
Again, I read the forums about this one. I'm like, okay, what is it? Why? How does it have a 50% ratings? And I don't trust the tomato
40,
meter
right?
and shit.
Yeah.
But like IMDb even has 5 out of 10. I'm like, where's that? And the only thing I can see is like, well, they tried something new. Get fucked. It's a bad movie. It's not a bad Halloween film. It's a bad film altogether. Like, I don't trust any of these people that are making these films ever again. I looked at David Gordon Green. Like, we watched the Exorcist, right? That was a huge failure in my eyes. I was bored out of my mind. I'm like, okay, so he's not the horror film guy. Go back to do Pineapple Express 2 or something like that, please. I don't know.
Yeah, I ultimately think that you can't say they tried something new if what they tried, or if the new thing didn't pick a lane. They had no identity. So no, they didn't really try anything new.
Well, again,
try again.
Going back to kills and now into ends, you just think you're a lot smarter than you are. You can't actually get any of this onto paper. You can't get any of it into the film. You think, I feel like there's probably, and I haven't read this, so don't quote me, but I'd almost assume that they're defending this like, oh, the people just weren't smart enough to get it. Like, get fucked. We see what you're trying to do. It sucks.
That's so lazy. That's so lazy. No. Well, anyway. Got a little testy there for you slashers out there, but it's okay. Lance and I are still friends. And we're still going to be bringing you all the fun installments of more horror movie franchises probably very soon. But, of course, we feel the love forever, albeit good, albeit bad, albeit in the middle. There's lots of things to really enjoy about the Halloween franchise. You might be the one that's putting on Halloween, the original Halloween, for the first time, and you're hearing that score and you're hearing the grain and you're hearing it kind of stick, and you're falling in love with that. And you might find yourself going down the rabbit hole of watching Halloween 3 for the first time and saying, did this man really just not want to spend time with his wife or his kids so he can go run off with a floozy and a six-pack? Yes, you might be thinking these things. The point is, there's something for everybody. But if your something ends up being Halloween Ends, that might be where your love for this franchise ends. So thank you all for this journey. Lance, I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember interviewing Michael in probably that seat when we started this whole thing. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember that. That was my favorite. Yeah. So here it is, folks.
Yeah.
We have stood the test of time. Slashers Paradise is very honored to keep bringing you the hits. We're sorry that it had to be Halloween Ends to end this franchise, but we love Halloween. We love Michael Myers. We love The Shape. May it all rest in peace.
Please. Like it's The Undertaker. Please rest in peace. This has been a lot of fun. I like talking about the franchise. I feel like one day we will go back. You've kind of mentioned this. Like, let's go back and redo the originals. Let's go back and do 1, 2, and I don't know, up to 5 maybe. But this is one of our favorites. This is why this podcast is a thing. It's the Halloween franchise. It's Michael Myers. It's John Carpenter. It's why we're here. It's why you're listening to this. Why you're watching us. Look at that beautiful back. Oh my God, that backdrop, Danny. Worked really hard on it.
Good stuff.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
I did.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good.
It's good. I saw like a Michael Myers figure the other day. I was like, fuck, I got to buy this for Danny just because you collect them. Like,
I do.
It's such a big part of who we are. And all right, well, it's time to move forward. We've got more episodes coming. Don't forget to check out slashersparadise.com. It's been updated. Danny hasn't even checked it, I bet. But fun stuff there. Fun stuff there. Fun stuff on our Instagram. We're always active on our Instagram at @slashersparadise. Go check us out. Join our little fun community. Talk to us. We have things to vote on. Lots of fun stuff coming. Danny, got anything else for everyone?
No, it's been a fun ride. I can't wait to continue. And thank you, folks, for being on this very fantastic paradise voyage with us.
All right. Until next time, remember to
lock your doors,
bolt your windows.
And I've said goodbye to my boogeyman. But the truth is, evil doesn't die. It changes shape.
And join us next time in our Slasher's Paradise.
Bad boys don't get custard. Hey, did you see anything you like?
Thanks for checking out Slasher's Paradise tonight. Be kind and rewind by liking and subscribing to our videos on YouTube at Dead Candy.
And if you'd like to continue supporting us wherever you do get your podcasts, we just ask that you rate and review us 5 stars. And if you don't know what to write in the review section, put a horror movie recommendation you'd like for Lance and I to talk about. Also, please visit us on Instagram at Slashers Paradise.
If you need even more Slashers Paradise, head over to slashersparadise.com where you can get drink recommendations, our favorite episodes, and more. Until next time, remember to
lock your doors,
bolt your windows.
And this is Slashers Paradise. Sorry, I had to work that in.
I'm gonna drink on that one.
Okay. Blended Canadian.